Hello everyone, Michael O'Rourke, yoga instructor and mindfulness facilitator from Cape Town, South Africa. This is the third video in a series of videos about mindfulness. If you have not watched the first two, I recommend you go back and watch the first two videos before getting to this one. I've created this series in an attempt to break down the different concepts that we find within mindfulness. In doing so, hopefully making your journey, your start into mindfulness a more simple one. So practicing bit by bit the concepts until eventually they all come together as part of your daily life. So each day of the week I have a different theme, different concept that we discuss. So there's an introductory video, then there is a video for Mondays called Mindfulness Mondays. Today's video is for Tuesdays called Intuition Tuesdays. And then there's another themed video for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And there's one for Saturday and Sunday combined. So go back, watch the first two if you haven't already. Otherwise, we can continue with today. So Intuition Tuesdays, what is all that about? The way that I observe myself, I tend to notice that there are two different voices within me that I use for guidance, that I use for decision making. However, as I've practiced mindfulness on a more regular basis, I have a daily practice of meditation, I practice yoga, but more importantly, I practice awareness of myself. And within that, I realize that these voices that I use are quite distinct. There's one that comes from the head, which is very loud, continuous mind chatter, continuous thoughts. And then there's a voice that comes from deeper within, from the heart and the gut space. So let's talk about these two. What I've come to realize is that the voice from the head is an accumulation of all the voices I've heard and absorbed, particularly the ones that have had an impact on me positively or negatively. The voice in my head is also based on the knowledge that I've acquired over the years. It also has a strong element of society's norms and expectations of others. So, in summary, the voice in our head is often the voices of others, what we've seen, what we've heard. If you listen carefully to the voice in your head, you may even recognize whose voice it actually is, particularly if there is messages in your head that are repetitive. Maybe you have some limiting beliefs about yourself. Listen to the words, how it's expressed, the tone that it comes across. And you may be able to recognize where that voice came from. So it's not all bad. The voice in our head sometimes is very smart, rational, and has been able to summarize all that you've taken into your brain and come up with really strong information about how to proceed. However, the voice that comes from deeper within, from the heart and the gut space, this voice is untainted by others. This voice comes from your true self. We've heard the term gut instinct. We've heard the term intuition. It is there. We all have it. And the reality is, when we need it the most is when we have big decisions, when we have life challenges that seem too overwhelming. Even in work circumstances, when we have analyzed all the information in front of us, we used our heads and other people's heads, but it comes down to making a call that has now gone beyond the data, the information, the knowledge. The decision needs to come from deep within. That's when we call on our intuition. The challenge is our intuition, our words of wisdom, our voice from our heart and gut is quieter than our head. It's often being bullied by the voice in our head, often being told to quieten. So we need to practice observing our thoughts, our voices within, from a distance. We try to observe the thoughts and voices in an objective way. Try not to get too involved in what you are noticing, in order for you to distinguish, is this truly me? Is this a voice I have adopted, or is it my own voice? Is it acquired knowledge, rational thinking, or is it my gut feel and intuition? So it's again about awareness and observation. One critical point, as I've mentioned in both previous videos, we do this with purpose and we do it with no judgment. And why this is important is sometimes when we observe ourselves and we observe our thoughts and we observe these voices in our heads, we may feel discomfort, some pain. It may trigger old events and experiences, perhaps traumas. Perhaps that voice that you hear that is critical, once you've identified who that is, maybe this could be painful. So be gentle, be kind, do it slowly, but do it. Start to become aware of your inner voices. Start to distinguish between the head and the intuition that comes from deep within. These practices are never an overnight thing. So this is a daily reminder for each day. So today's Intuition Tuesday. So perhaps every week, every Tuesday, you come back to this slowly. Thank you for listening. I hope that you are finding these videos useful. Look out for tomorrow's video, which I've called Wellbeing Wednesdays. I would appreciate any feedback and comments that you have. My email address, which you will see now, is there for anybody to use if you want to find out more or make contact with me. Thank you.